So last week, we talked about characters, right? We looked at their thoughts and their actions, and that kind of led us to think about what kind of maybe person the character was in the story. So today, we're going to look at characters, but we're going to compare and contrast characters. So good readers can identify and be able to compare and contrast characters in a story. When we compare something, that's usually comparing two or more things. And when we contrast two or more things, we think about how they're different. The ways that we like to compare and contrast. When the two circles kind of overlap, you know what that's called? We learn it in math. We've seen it in writing. We see it in reading. A Venn diagram allows us to compare and contrast. Some of those guiding questions we might ask, what are the similarities and differences between two things? Right, another, are there any details that are unique to one thing and not the other? Okay, and so today we're going to look at going back and thinking about two characters in a story, okay? And we're going to model for you using the Venn diagram.
I'm thinking this man came to this man jingling his money can.
What were his actions?
He did to try to he's trying to get.
Does somebody else want to add to how the actions of the character? Okay, Ann?
So when the lady left,
So what are some of the things that we notice about him?
get it.
When we talk about the differences between the two characters. Here in the middle, remember that we said the same. I heard a word that that Miss Sutton was using, and so I've added that word here. So sometimes you might hear, what do they have in common? Okay, how are they alike? We're going to give you an opportunity now. At each table, you're going to get a Venn diagram. We're going to work on comparing and contrasting at table groups.
So you're going to think about how Graham and Skyla are alike and how they are different.
Bossy. What is something about Graham? What can we say about Graham? She's nice. She's caring. Think about, I've noticed she has a lot of differences, but so far we're struggling here. Okay? And what evidence in the book? What's something that we can go back to that would give us that example? So to come up with the similarities between two people who are so different, for us was hard, and we had to dig deeper. Table one, do you want to share?
He's caring. Graham is caring because she took care of Naomi and Owen since they were little.
Soraya, your table was eager to share the similarities. Go ahead.
Skylar and Graham care about Naomi because everything knows.
So who can go back and tell me, what are we working on today? Okay, good. All right, so comparing the two characters. Let's go back to our learning target. So I want to introduce to you, when you go into your independent reading today, what that choice board is going to look like. Okay, so today and every day, when you're reading in your books, I want you to make sure that you're thinking about the characters in the story, and you're thinking about how they're about the events they go through, what kind of thoughts and actions the characters have in the story, and what that leads them to. Often you're going to find that characters have events in their lives or have events in the story like we have in our lives. It helps us to become better readers when we can relate. Today in our lesson, we talked about comparing and contrasting characters. So what is something about the two characters that you're reading that you could compare how they're alike and maybe how they're different? Can you think of something else in regards to maybe their personalities, the actions and the thoughts that they've done in the story?
Zoe, she's kind because she helps Ashley whenever she falls.
All right, friends, so if you'll turn around and look back at me, I know you guys have had fun reading and comparing and contrasting your characters. Let's take a minute and kind of share and how you applied it to your reading. So in your story, Mountain Dog, what two characters did you compare and contrast? So what evidence do you have that shows that he's a rescuer? What do you got?
It's like Greg is more wanting to do action, but Rowley, because his parents like don't let him do as much stuff as.
So she's kind of already started her choice board too. And I noticed that one, you have, he's picky,
He's kind of better than.
that he's better. Okay, so today and every day, when you're reading, and you're reading in your books, I want you to make sure that you're thinking about the characters in the story, and you're thinking about how they're alike